everybody, let's hear about Island Pond, Vermont, and how they like to fuck people over. How Teddy Miller screwed me over back in 2006, 2007, right up to 2010 when Jeffrey Noyce was in and took over, okay? When Jeffrey Noyce, he's still wearing the badge today and driving around doing what? Drugs from one town to the other? Because you see, he's the sheriff in Canaan, Vermont, which is on the border, right? To Island Pond, Vermont, which is on the border, right? So it's a straight shot, correct? Little loops in between, so he's got his little drop-off areas where he meets with the Vermont State Police or his FBI informant or agent. I'm just saying. Now, he also has that little police department right there in the bank that used to be in the railroad station. It is the oldest railroad station. First. Okay? So, with that being said, it went from Portland to Island Pond to Canada. Now, why is it that Island Pond, I know 820 population is what I knew it last year. With that being said, why is it that there were 1,465 bags of heroin found in one vehicle from the top of the hill back then? Now they live downtown on the main drag, which is Railroad Street. Yep, I was living on Railroad Street. When I first lived here in 2007, I moved off from Curran Hill Avenue area, Hillside Acres. I had been living in there, and all the kids would hang out because that's where the snowbank was and whatever, and all the kids would hang out. And I wasn't a known person because I had to be home to take care of kids, everybody's kids that were there. The kids were there when Marco Gorman, rest in peace, bless your soul, got caught up in a fire and died, okay? The rest of them were all down at the American Legion watching it happen. Not me. I was home with my kids and watching their kids, okay? So then it rolls around to 2021. Now, in 2020, I go to Vermont, Island Pond, to see my daughter, and she wants me to stay. Well, she knows that I don't like Island Pond because back in 2007, they conspired a story against me and took my kids away from me with no reason, rhyme, or rhythm. I wasn't a bad mother. I had never been a bad mother, and I was found to prove myself innocent. But because I have a pacemaker due to broken heart syndrome, diagnosed and caused by all the fucking bullshit that I went through from Island Pond due to the town and politician corruption, okay? It went from Linda Cope, Joel Cope, all of the town office and officials, Mary Hare, Border Patrol husband Jeff Hare, Teddy Miller. The copy and proof I have of the email, still have it. I'm going to print it today so I can share it. Heidi Storm, who is still working for the records at the Vermont State Police Department. And by the way, everybody can get a copy of records. They are what? Public. Call Vermont State Police, email them, and tell them you want a copy of the accident report on the Dislandis. Okay? Tell them that you want proof of the toxicology report that was done because you're a taxpayer and that's a Freedom of Right Act. All of it is. Okay? Also, that's just my opinion and a fact. Yeah. So, back to Island Pond. Within a year's time, I was charged for sitting in my apartment minding my own business. I was charged with disorderly conduct. I hadn't done a fucking thing. All because of mental health patients and drug addicts that are in Island Pond. So, I want to point out to you who I know to be snitches. I will also tell you what I know about the police from Island Pond and throughout Vermont, and they're all tied together. I'm also going to point out to you the politicians. And then I want you, as a resident and a citizen, think about what I'm saying and telling you and proving to you. And then perhaps, this being the beginning of a new week, We know that we're all at stake for our freedom. Why? Because Russia's taking over Ukraine, which China is already on the way of taking over everything. Why? Oh, and did you know that TJ Donovan is in charge of everything? In fact, him and Bernie Sanders are okay with and trying to push for sex trafficking, aka legalized prostitution in the state of Vermont. Do you really want that? Do you want that for your kids? Then stay tuned, because we're going to go rejected and abandoned. And that's what we're going to call this part of the show.